Hi, I'm Francois. Welcome to the channel. Hey guys, this is Production Music Live. My name is Francois and today we are going to make this analog lead or bass sound together with the Wavetable synth from Ableton. So I'm quickly going to duplicate this track here and start completely from scratch so you can follow along. But before we get started, I'm going to quickly turn off my mastering change, just put a little bit of gain here and take off my DJ fade to gray effects. So selecting this MIDI track here and going to instruments, pick up Wavetable and load it onto the MIDI track. Make sure in good speakers or headphones, you will hear low frequencies much better. So before we get started, quickly turn off these return channels here. The first thing we want to do after loading up Wavetable is use the basic shapes here and select a saw wave. Go to something like 60 to 63% here. So it sounds like this, quite nasty still. Bring the volume up to 0 decibels, I'm just hitting 0 here, and bring it from poly to mono. And put the glide up right away to something below 100 milliseconds. I'm going to play this area here. So it glides a little bit into the new note. Just slightly. So something like this would already be okay. And now we're going to activate the second oscillator. Go in there and try to make a square wave with it. Well, not a full one, maybe at 90%. Bring the mix down to something like -17. So it blends a little bit into the saw wave here, but the saw wave stands out much more than the square wave. -18 decibels. Okay, and now we are going to our amplifier here. In the mod sources section, go to attack and bring the attack up. So we have a bit less transient in the beginning. So 34 milliseconds here and bring the decay up a little. Decay is the time we will take from the highest point here after the attack back to our sustain levels. So let's say 1.5 seconds. And bring our sustain level down a little bit, so it's a bit more plucky. I think -13 was okay. And release time down to around 300 milliseconds. And now we want to apply our filter on top of that. And we want to kind of automate it. So it always, whenever a note plays, it goes quickly up and comes back down. Go into the matrix here and assign the filter frequency knob to the second envelope actually. So just tell the filter frequency to be automated by whatever shape the second envelope is having. And let's put it up to 100 here. So if we go to the second envelope, whatever shape we are putting into this envelope, this is going to be applied on this knob whenever a note is playing. So now it would shoot up to full range, and then after basically 600 milliseconds, it would be back at around 50% of the sustain, and then when the note is not pressed anymore, it goes back down to 0. Now, what we want to do is start at 0. And bring the attack also up to something like 34. So it's nice and soft in the beginning, and then we put the decay time up to 1.5 as well. Yeah, sustain level to somewhere around 55 and release time to something like 335 milliseconds. And now it's a bit too squeaky for my taste. First of all, I want to apply this envelope only 80% of this shape onto this filter. Go to matrix and tell it not 100% applied, but only like 80% applied. So we don't open up all the way, but just like 80%, and it's a bit smoother that way. And now also set your filter to 24 decibels per octave filtering off. You see it's a little steeper with 24 decibels per octave as opposed to 12 decibels per octave cutting off. Nice and smooth. Now let's go to audio effects and pick up erosion. Drag it in here to create a little bit of noisy feeling, make it feel a bit more analog. So amount down to somewhere around 7. And actually duplicate these settings and have another erosion right next to it and just do the opposite on the top end of the frequency spectrum here. Around 15 kilohertz and amount down. Just a slight touch of analog noise and feeling around it. Drag a simple delay behind it and keep it at 4 to 6 here. Drive it down to around 20%, feedback up to around 20%. And last but not least, we want to finish up with an auto filter. And we're going to pick a different filter algorithm. We are going to pick up OSR. And now we have this drive knob here. We can add a little bit of drive. That would be too much, but keep it at 3 point something. Yeah, that's nice. And cut it off around 10 kilohertz. And now I would put on a reverb, and we can put a reverb behind this auto filter, or what we can do is use our send effects. I actually have a reverb to the left here, decay time 1.4 seconds, and basically the same thing to the right. And we can just open up these two send effects, just like in the upper one here, to 9 and to somewhere around 12. There we go, there's our sound. And what you can do right now to save it for future applications, you can select the first one, hold Shift, select the last element in your chain, and then, just group them into custom instrument rack that you created. Now you can name it, for example, analog lead, simply save it to your user library and use it next time. Let's hear it in the mix. And there you go, here's your nice analog lead. So that's all for this little sound design session here. Feel free to visit productionmusiclive.com, our website supporting this channel and giving us the ability to put out videos like this one. We have full courses there, making tracks from start to finish with Ableton, also courses for sound design and drum sample packs like our new drum sample pack D Premium Volume 3, for example. Also Ableton project files and templates. So I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. Feel free to leave a like and a comment, subscribe to our channel, and I hope to see you next time.